What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In the last video, I finally finished up the wheel and brake setup on the Evo. If you didn't see that video, definitely go check it out. These things came out amazing. I finally got to take this thing for a little drive after 3 months. Painting these things took a long time, but it was definitely well worth it. I did give a little hint in the last video what I was going to do in this video. I wrapped the center caps here in the orange vinyl to match the calipers. No, I am not wrapping the entire car. My first turbo manual car was the Focus ST, and one of the things that I loved that I did to it were the offset rally stripes going down the side. But to kind of pay tribute to that, they were red and black, so obviously I'm doing orange and black on the Evo, but I'm going to do the exact same thing. Stay tuned. Here is everything needed to do this. If you want to go check out the video of me doing the stripes on the ST, I will leave a link in the description for that. This is not really a hard thing to do in my opinion. It does take time. For how easy this stuff right here makes it, it's definitely well worth it because it does definitely change the look of the car. So first up, obviously, you need the vinyl that you're going to use. All the vinyl is Avery Dennison, so gloss orange and gloss black. This was the measuring tape that I used for the ST, but I went ahead and bought a couple of new ones just in case. Need some masking tape, a Expo pen, just something so we can mark on the car and wipe it away. A little squeegee with a soft pad so it doesn't scratch it up. Shouldn't have to use this too much, but you definitely want a knife with some clean blades. And then I used this design line on the ST. This is what I had left over from it. I didn't really know the differences at the time, but this is a little bit thinner. It has a little bit thinner filament in there so that you can actually make designs with it. So I did order this finish line since it is going to be a straight cut. This is a much thicker tape. It's a much heavier duty filament in there, and it should allow me to cut that vinyl a little bit better. I'm going to start with the front here. I'm going to do the black stripe right here. So I'm basically using this as my midpoint. So the black stripe will be on this side, and then I'll be doing the orange stripe on this side. As of right now, this is measuring out to be about 2 inches. So I may do just a little bit less than that. And I'm thinking about 6 inches on the orange stripe. Masking is all complete. This is definitely the most tedious process, is measuring everything. The first thing that I do is find a center point because I want a center line to measure over from. I just try to find the easiest reference points. I used these to measure in between and found the center point, and that's where I put my dot there. Down here, same thing. You kind of have to eyeball it up, just make sure it looks really straight on there, and then measure, and then obviously take the center point. I did that just a few times down, and then I run my tape, and then what I do is just kind of step back, make sure that it looks straight. If anything needs to be adjusted, I may remeasure a couple of different places, and then once it looks really good, that's where I'm going to leave it. From there, you just measure over and then run your tape just like that. This is where my black stripe is going to go. You can see all my little dot reference points here. This piece of tape right here is actually going to be the midpoint separating the black stripe and the orange stripe. The next step is to run the knifeless tape on the sides of the tape that you want to cut. So I'll put one on this side right here, I'll put one right here, I'll put one right here, and then the last one will go on this side. After that, you just lay your vinyl over the top of it, and then you cut it out. I just finished up with the front end here, so it is completely done. I just got to remove all of the masking. Super happy with how everything is coming out. So for the black stripe, I did go with 1 3/4 of an inch thick, and then for the orange stripe, I did go with the 6 inches. I pretty much use the Knifeless tape on everything except for the very top right here. I do cut that with a blade. Aside from that, I run the Knifeless down both sides to cut those. I run the Knifeless across down here so that I can get a really good straight line on that, and it allows you to get exactly how much you need to tuck it in there. Same thing on this side right here, run it all the way down, and I even used the Knifeless tape on the front right here as well. Once you learn how to use that Knifeless tape, it does an amazing job without having to use a blade. I will catch back up with you guys later this weekend and get the top of the car and the trunk and wing finished off. It's been a few days back working on the stripes. I'm hoping to get at least the top done this afternoon. I left all of the masking on last time, and there's a reason for that. I went and picked something up that I'm hoping will help me out with my measurements. The hardest and probably most tedious and longest process is measuring, getting that center line side to side. Now that I know that this line up front is all measured out and it is straight, I picked up this laser level. I got the tripod to go with it. I'm hoping that I can just sit it back there, run a line, get it exactly lined up with this piece right here, and then run a line down the center of the car, make my dots, and then I will run my tape just like that. So I'm gonna get this thing opened up. I'm gonna bust the tripod out, get it all set up, and hopefully this works out. If it doesn't, I'll just go back to doing the regular measurements. Either way, if this works or not, I'm gonna get the roof set up on time lapse and get that knocked out. It's the next day. I finished doing the stripes on the roof yesterday. I went ahead and removed the tape because I don't need that. I just need the center line. The laser took a minute to figure out how to use, but once I did, it actually worked out really well, getting that center line lined up really straight. I pulled the tape off of the front of the hood too, so you can kind of see what it looks like. I'm finally ready to move on to what I think is probably going to be the hardest part, and that's the trunk, and I'm going to do the wing as well. The stripes are also going to fall in line where the tail light is here and this emblem, so I'm going to have to remove this. And then I am going to go ahead and pull this out. Aside from that, the process should be the exact same for the top and the hood up there. So let's get this done. Trunk is all finished off. I still got to do the small part of the bumper down here. Everything went on super smooth. Everything looks great. I wanted to share this with anybody doing it themselves. Anytime that there is like a massive curve, like you see how this curves, if you were to cut a completely straight piece, it would go up and it would want to go like this. It wouldn't want to go straight like this. To keep you from having to stretch it a whole bunch, all you have to do is just cut a little bit wider piece at the top, or you could do the bottom. It doesn't really matter. To get all of this to lay flat, you do have to use the heat gun just a little bit. All the other areas of the car were pretty much flat, so I didn't have to use the heat gun very much. I do preheat the vinyl with the heat gun before I cut everything. And then down here, what I do is I just follow the natural lines. I use the heat gun to stretch it in there. Once I get it laid down, I use the heat gun one more time so that it sets. And then I just use the blade to cut along the natural line of the car right here. Same thing with the front up here, and then the back over here, I just use the natural lines of the car and I use the blade to cut it. This down here should be super easy. I'll time lapse that, and then the wing up here, I will get all set up, and I'm probably gonna do multiple pieces. So I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do that just yet, but once I knock it out, I will let you know. Stripes on the Evo are finally complete. So here's the rear bumper down here. It came out really nice. I really thought I was gonna have to redo this piece because this was kind of getting difficult down here. I'm still not an expert, but I wanted to try to do this all in one piece, but I think the best way to do it would have been to put an inlay right here and then just lay a piece over the top of it and cut it. But I did end up doing this all in one piece. I used the blade basically to just cut it along here. There's a couple of small spots you can see right there where it kind of got jagged. For the most part, I am pretty impressed with my blade skills. The wing up here came out awesome too. I did end up using multiple pieces. I didn't do it all in one piece. Originally, I was just gonna try to run it from front all the way to back and then just cut it along these little lines here, but I was afraid you would see the white through it, and I wanted to get that vinyl tucked in so that you didn't see any white. For this, I use the knifeless tape on everything, all the sides here, even when I cut these pieces. What I do is I lay the knifeless down so that you see the filament right at the edge down here. That way, when you cut the piece with the knifeless tape, you can have the perfect amount to tuck underneath. Super stoked to finally be completely finished with these stripes. I love the way that this looks. The stripe look isn't for everyone, but I do like it. I will be changing up the emblems at some point to color match everything. I'm gonna get the tail light back in here. I'm gonna get everything in under the trunk over there, and then I'll take the car on the driveway, clean it up really good, and then get some nice shots of it. I tried to catch some of the sunlight before the sun went down. Again, I know it's not everybody's look, but I love the stripes. I think it definitely adds something extra without having to go over the top. Not to mention, it complements the calipers and wheels down here very nice. I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. If this helped you out and you did your own stripes, hit that like button. If you want to see more going on with the Evo, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys next time.